Greetings, fellow scribes! Welcome back to the archive. This week, I continue my series on the races of D&D 2nd Edition Spelljammer by talking about the first of the uniquely Spelljammer races. The races you don't see anywhere else, really. This first race I'm going to talk about is kind of one of my favorites. The Giff. Not the Gith, but the Giff. Giff. And they are the race that loves things that go boom. And a tagline from them could easily be, "Oops, I didn't mean to hit him so hard. You humans are so fragile." So, sit back, relax, and enjoy as I talk about the only race that has a spine gun in a ship. As we're talking about a completely new race, let's start with the basics. The Giff are essentially anthropomorphic hippopotami who like guns. Yeah, that's pretty much how you can describe them in the most basic level. Their main form of social organization is called the platoon. And as a race, they are mercenaries. They have actually traveled so far in the Spelljamming universe that they don't remember how to get back to their home world. Oh, they have legends about it. A nice jungle world with weapon caches under every tree and smoke powder flowing like the milk and honey of human paradise. Like I said, they love guns. Now, they have some interesting social quirks. First off, Giff love to fight. A barroom brawl breaks out, a Giff is going to jump right into it just because. Now, there's a slight problem. Giff are very powerfully built. So, if a Giff headbutts someone, which to another Giff would be just a friendly gesture, if the individual they headbutted was not prepared, i.e. was actually the victim of the Giff using his attack against them, or just didn't know what the Giff was going to do, well, a Giff's headbutt does 2d6 damage. It is completely possible to kill some characters in old editions of D&D with a average to high roll from that. The other fun fact about the Giff is they are non-magical. As in, there are no mages or clerics among the Giff. And they are, in fact, so non-magical. Magical items not specifically for their class have a 10% chance of malfunctioning in their hands. And they have 10% magic resistance, which applies even to beneficial healing spells applied to them. Meaning, whenever the party cleric goes to cast Cure Light Wounds, they have a 1 in 10 chance of it not working on the Giff. Yeah, that's rough for the Giff. or for pretty much anyone. Because, you know, in 2nd edition, spell slots were a lot more limited. But the Giff have some other unique tendencies. First off, as soon as someone pulls a weapon in a bar brawl, the Giff will fight that person to the death. Giff have this thing that unarmed combat? Oh, that's just friendly bonding experience. You pull a weapon, like a knife, or a chair, or a broken beer bottle. Well, that means you're trying to kill someone. And at that point, the fight's serious. Second, as I mentioned, the Giff love guns. Now, you have to understand, in Spelljammer, there are essentially 4 types of guns. The Star Wheel pistol, which is basically a matchlock pistol. An Arquebus, which is a matchlock rifle. Well, matchlock gun, long gun. Bombards, which are cannons. And then there is the Great Bombard. The Great Bombard is a massive gun. And the only ship that actually has one is also called the Great Bombard. It is built by Giff. It is one of the few ship designs built by the Giff. It has some other lighter bombards on it for, you know, shooting people who are coming around the sides. But the Great Bombard, the barrel ends at the bow of the ship. The gun itself goes to just in front of the mast, amidship. The gun takes up most of the length of the ship, i.e., the gun is essentially a spine gun. It cannot be turned. You aim it by turning the ship and timing your firing based on how the ship is moving. It is also the single most damaging weapon in Spelljammer, with one of the more likely chances to critical. But that's not all that the Giff have. There's one ship built by groundling humans that the Giff love. It's called the Clipper. And it's basically a clipper ship. And the Giff load it with bombards. Like 20 of them. They love things that go boom. One other thing to note about the Giff is they are a large-sized race. What this means is, in D&D 2nd Edition, weapons had 2 sets of stats. Two sets of damage. Damage set 1 is what they did to small or medium-sized creatures, or small or man-sized. Damage scale 2 is what they did to larger than man-sized creatures. And yeah, so unlike what you might be thinking, this does not mean that they did less damage to bigger creatures. The two-handed sword did 1 die 10 against small and man-sized. It did 3 die 6 to larger than man-sized. The long sword is the great example of the 1d8 damage to small and man-sized, 1d10 to larger than man-sized. This was because things that were larger than man-sized tended to have more hit points. Now, the Giff did not get the benefit of having double hit points, unfortunately. What they did have is they had a natural armor rating of 6 because of how thick their hide is. And if you want them to wear armor, they took the better armor class of the armor they were wearing or their natural armor. And if you decide you wanted to have a Giff in full plate mail, you would be tripling that already massive expenditure. Giff had a +2 to their strength due to their size and their, well, strength and their sturdy builds. But they're not very imaginative, so they got a -1 to intelligence. Now, this is really kind of a case of they don't tend to think of outside the box tactics. Giff in combat are going to take a direct approach. Because they're tough, they can take it. And generally speaking, all the gunshots raining into your ship from the Giff that your opponent has hired are going to make your ship hurt and want to get away. It doesn't matter how subtle the tactics you might be thinking are. Giff have a very simple way of looking at combat. They've got guns, and, well, shoot it. Shoot it lots. Oh, there was one fun thing about arquebuses and Starwheel pistols. They had a unique property. When they did above a certain amount of damage on a roll, on the die itself, you would roll and add that result. And if that die roll was above that certain damage threshold, you would roll it again. And again. And again. And again. I actually had a freakish moment with a Giff in a game where I fired an arquebus. And, well, I kind of blew up a dragonfly. Oops. But that was a freakish event, freakish occurrence, but it was still kind of funny. And that's forever cemented the notion of Giff gunners in my head. So, with that, I conclude my video on the Giff. Next week, I talk about the gorilla-like Gromans. Yeah, just so you know, there's a lot of creatures in Spelljammer that are based on anthropomorphized real-world animals. Next week, I talk about the Gromans. So until then, I'd like you all to remember to have fun and keep gaming.